What's going on, everybody? It is the MOSHCAST episode. I don't fucking remember. Your host, Almighty S.i.g.h, aka if Satan doesn't rule hell, then who owns it? You know what I'm saying? We have a very special guest, a little bit different this week. Changing it up because fuck you, I can do whatever I want on this thing. It's mine. I own it. I know we do a lot of music and a lot of cool things, but I'm changing it up a little bit and, testing the waters out. But we have a very special guest, Pearl Chambers. She is, what would you call yourself right now?
Like job wise?
Yeah, just like what is your job? What is your job right now? I know that we talked about you being a correctional officer, but now you're dispatch.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Right.
So we got two things to talk about today. So we got really cool, interesting topics to talk about today, and I say that because there is a lot of pros and cons to being a police officer in this era, right? You would think.
I agree.
I'm gonna turn you up a little bit.
All right.
Because you're very soft-spoken.
I know. I'm sorry.
But how have you been? This is our first time meeting. We've talked on Facebook a couple times, and I kind of ghosted you for a second, and then I showed back up. But this is the first time for us to meet in person. You know, did you expect it to be like this, or like this guy's totally professional? This guy knows what he's doing, and then you come into my house and you're like, this guy is a load of shit.
No, it's interesting. I've never seen anything like this, so it's interesting.
Well, I appreciate it. It was a long time coming, and we worked on it and fixed it up, and it's definitely an upgrade from the first podcast. If you go and watch my first podcast, I was in a garage, and it was a very shitty garage, but it was something, and we did it. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you. So,
Right.
How's everything going with you on your side of the world?
Good, just busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, after Christmas, after New Year's, did you have a whole lot of family and stuff?
Not really. Like this year was our first year, kind of more as a divorced family, so that was
no.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, tragic.
Yeah, but so it's low.
Right.
Low
Right.
key.
You just be chilling.
Yeah.
Is your mom happy about the divorce?
Yeah, she is. She's dating and everything, and that's super
good,
weird.
good.
But
Your dad's like,
he's just
in the
just
gutter.
focused on him. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm actually divorced as well, and divorce is a different thing. Whenever you start thinking about that kind of stuff, it's like, obviously you want the people in your life to love each other. But it gets to the point where it's like, if you don't, then what the fuck are you doing? And then your kids are involved, and so you're like, would I rather be happy with my family separated, or would I rather be miserable and everybody fucking hate me at the end? You know,
Right.
and that's how it kind of was with me. So shout out to all the fucking single moms and dads and fucking married couples. I fucking guess. My parents are still married and shit. They get on my nerves all the fucking time. So anyway, but so you had Christmas and your husband. How long have y'all been married?
We just got married in September, so not that
Oh
long.
dang!
Yeah.
Newlyweds. Y'all still in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Dang! Well, congratulations. I bet you that was Was it a little bit different for like Christmas and New Year's and stuff, being a married couple?
So his family lives like way out of town, so
No shit.
Yeah, it was still low key, just my family and stuff.
Oh,
so.
nice. What'd you get? Did you get anything for Christmas? What'd you get for Christmas?
I got my Apple Watch.
Dude, everybody's been getting Apple Watches. I'm over here like in 2005. I still think like razors are badass, and MySpace is still a thing. That's freaking dope.
I never got to see MySpace.
No shit.
Yeah.
No shit. Yeah, MySpace was a crazy fucking place. It was crazy. It was. So we have Facebook. And there's a lot of more regulations about like saying things. You can't even say like. I know. It's like you shouldn't say it, but like kill yourself, or like I'm gonna kill you, like LOL. Jokingly to your friends, or
takes it down.
They will delete you.
I've
for
never
a while.
tried. So.
I never tried either. I never been in Facebook jail. Facebook, if you're watching this, don't fucking put me in there. I need it for my politics. But I will say this: all of my friends have been in Facebook jail, and they're like, I'm out for like 40 days. I'm like, what the fuck did you do? And they're like, I told somebody I was gonna kill him. And I'm like, Well, fucking there you go. You know, you can't say that. Even if you are joking with your friends, you know. I know that a lot of people will joke around about that stuff, but you know, you can't say that in public. People will literally see that and they'll take offense to it because everything's offensive nowadays.
Yeah.
But MySpace was like Facebook without the rules, and it was like just this like post-apocalyptic world of like nonsense. It had no regulations. It was kind of cool because like you could pop up on, you click on somebody's MySpace and they had a playlist that would literally play music on there. So like you were on their profile listening to their music that they listen to, which was, I think, is really cool. I wish they would bring that back, and I think MySpace is still around, just nobody uses it that much, you know. But that's the era I'm in, you know. Like people are getting like I watched on the TV that the Apple Watch has a thing where it's like it can sense like if you've fallen down.
Oh, okay.
And it was like this guy that was like on a hike and somebody was calling, and the phone to the Apple Watch was telling the person that was calling that the person has fallen, has not responded in so many like hours, you know, send emergencies right now, and the Apple Watch will send the location of the person after you hang up the phone.
That's crazy.
Insanity. It's like, what the fuck are we living in? Are we gonna become robots or something?
Right.
Like even robots nowadays are like the AI and all that stuff is fucking crazy. I don't know if like you're into all of that tech stuff. No,
It's
you're just
above
like
my head. It's above my head.
you're like I read the newspaper. I don't know about all this this hunky junk shit.
If it's on TikTok, I've seen it.
Oh yeah, TikTok. Yeah, TikTok's the big thing now. I'm trying to get on TikTok too, but the thing is do you do TikToks or you just watch?
I try to do TikToks.
Oh,
I'm not very good, but yeah.
So like I post like little snippets of the podcast on TikTok, and most of them my views are great. Some of them are great. I get like 600, 700 views on like one, but I don't get no likes or whatever. You know, TikTok, come on, give me some love for real. But when I talk about like a serious topic, because we talk real deep into like mental disorders and mental health and like all that kind of stuff, and word and essay and all that stuff. If you talk about that stuff on TikTok, they actually shadow ban you, and it's happened to me like multiple times. And I've like tried to like talk about like, you know, if you are having a hard time and you want to commit suicide, then like, you know, reach out to somebody, you know, and it would get like 2 or 3 views in like a week, and I'm like, what the fuck? But I post some stupid shit about the podcast, and it gets like 600 or 700 views in like a day, and I'm like, I understand that's like a view, but like, I'm trying to reach out to people. Come on, I'm trying to do something nice. And I did it in a song too. I talked about suicide in a song, and I did it on TikTok, and I got no views on that either. And it's like, what are we trying to promote here?
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying? Are we trying? Like, I understand it's entertainment, right? But we're in the entertainment world all the time. So what are we trying to promote? We're trying to promote like diversion. Are we trying to promote, what's that word? Not diversion, but like like entertainment, but like blind entertainment. Or are we trying to like, you know, change people's lives? Are we trying to figure out how to make people feel healthy and happy? But that's the government. We don't have to talk about the government. We're here, you know. But yeah. Heck yeah, dude. TikTok. What else? What else is there?
That's Instagram, Snapchat. I feel like I don't really, the older I get, I don't really do the Snapchat. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't do Snapchat a lot either. I do now because my manager told me to. And she's like, you got to do this because I do music on the side and stuff, and like the podcast, and like I got to have a social presence, I guess.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's pretty much it. Is it tough in the job world, like the I don't even know what you call it, a career? This is a career for you.
Yes.
Is this something, did you go to school for?
No.
So you're just like, I want to do this, and then you just did it.
Yeah, they do their own training and everything.
No way. Okay. All right. So let's start there. So, did you always know that you wanted to do something like this, or?
Absolutely not. I never thought that I would go into this. No. I wanted to go into like sports medicine, and then I took a class specifically for like sports medicine.
Yeah.
I was like, I absolutely hate this.
No, I cannot do this.
Yeah, so I was going to go to the army, but I couldn't make weight.
Oh, you were going to go to the army?
Yeah.
Dang, you're just like this hard ass, huh?
And then it just like, I was waitressing, and when this lady was like, hey, if you ever looking for a job, 911, I was like, whatever.
Right.
And then I finally looked into it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this.
Right.
So that's
Heck yeah, that's a hard ass thing. You're like, I'm gonna go to sports medicine, and then I was gonna go into the military, and then I was gonna be a bomb technician. It's like, Jesus, what got you into what got you like wanting to do these? I'm not gonna say hard ass jobs because they're not really that hard assy, but in a world of like your parents or your mom saying, don't, you're gonna get hurt, because like my parents are the same fucking way. They don't let me do anything. My mom's like, don't die, and I'm like, can't promise you anything, So like, what got you into the world of like wanting to be a part of like something so extreme, I guess you could say?
It's really the structure. Like, I crave the structure.
Oh, like the system and like the scheduling and stuff.
Yeah, telling me kind of like what to do, how to do it.
Yeah.
I love the structure.
Okay.
So that's kind of what led me towards more of those fields than doing like anything that I would just do by myself and just freedom.
Yeah,
I crave the structure.
That's the difference between me and you, is that I have no structure. I wish I did have structure, but at the end of the day, like even with my jobs, all the jobs that I've had since I was 15 years old, I've never had structure. Like, I knew that I had to wake up at a certain time, I knew how to go to work at a certain time, and I knew that I had to get my job done at a certain time. But in between going to work and getting off of work, everything was kind of like, you do how you do it, and then it's whatever, And I've gotten used to that.
Yeah.
To that thing to where right now, in the world that we are in, I'm going to have to find a new job. And I'm afraid that if I find a new job or get this new job, there will be that structure to where it's like, you have to do it by the books. You have to do your paperwork. Yeah. You have to make sure that this gets done and that gets done. I'm like, dude, I haven't done that in fucking 10 years. I don't even know if I can do that shit. Like, I could do the job for you. Would it not be it probably won't be the way you want me to do it, but I will do it.
No, I want that. I want it's A, B, C, D, and then that's how I do it.
Right. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So somebody told you, hey, there's a opening at the police office, or what was it?
It's 911.
The 911 police office. Go and apply. So you applied, or was it just like kind of like I'll see if I could do it, or you're like, I kind of want to do it.
Yeah. Well, I was just like, it was a job that I heard about, and I was like, I need a job right now, so I did it, and I applied, and then it just went from there. And the more that we went through the process, because it's a 3-month hiring process.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So like, there's polygraphs, there's interviews, there's psych exams.
So you better have a job before you even ask for this job.
Yeah.
Because you'll be fucking poor by the time you even get that job.
Yeah. So they make sure that you are able to handle the job.
Right.
And the more that we were going through this process, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I want to do this.
Right. I want the viewers to understand that the reason I'm asking all these questions is because we want to get as much knowledge for this area as possible. My viewership, I guess you could say, leans more to the blue side, left side, and with everything that's been going on in the world, I kind of thought, instead of questioning or giving these questions to people like you, these random, what would you do if you were in George Floyd, all this crazy stuff, like the process on how to get to this point, and then the process to do what you do, and how that really is in real time in real life.
Right.
So just so you know, that's why I'm asking these random ass questions about how she got the job, like how long it took to get the job, because if you do want to be in the police force, awesome, great. Now you know it takes 3 fucking months, and you better be mentally stable, because that psych thing doesn't sound so very. I probably wouldn't. They would probably waterboard me and be like, okay, I'll tell you everything. I'll fucking tell you everything.
But yeah, I don't know. I never thought that so much would go into to something like that, because a lot of the stuff that I know about 911 came from TV shows.
Oh, right.
So.
NCIS and hooking.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I had no idea. Like, I didn't even know we had a 911 center in Amarillo. Like,
Really?
I just thought it was, like, in Austin somewhere. And
you're like, it's like some fucking in the clouds.
Yeah, somewhere. Somebody.
It was
I just knew I called and someone answered. Yeah.
At home job where some lady at 3 o'clock in the morning is sleeping in bed. Hello?
Yeah.
Where are you at? Okay, cool.
All right.
That's a cool question. So, whenever you got the call saying, we're going to interview you, was it like you knew that you got the job? Or was it more of like, it's still in the air?
There was still like things that I had to go through, like like the interviews, the board interviews. I had to sit down and then.
So were you like at that moment scared? Like, were you like, oh shit, like, I kind of did some crazy stuff in high school, and like I probably said some stuff on Twitter.
I was kind of boring, like I didn't really have anything to hide.
The cop's like, "Are you sure you weren't in Vegas like 2 years ago?" That's what it's saying. Like that was it that kind of stuff. Like, did they dig like real deep into like your history and your family,
like, the backgrounds and who you're friends with on? Like, they went through my social media. They were like, "Can I see your phone?" and looked through my social media. And like I was like, I don't post anything like crazy, but still I was like sweating while she was going through my stuff.
You're like,
like, do I have any dead bodies or something on there that I don't remember? I don't know.
You're like, Crystal's gonna find out that I was talking mad shit about her for real.
Yeah.
But you're like, I don't know if I've said anything racist or anything.
Exactly. So I was like, ugh.
Well, because like you, in my point of view, like the phone in a social presence, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Like, yeah, when you go into those things, you are aware that people are going to see that shit. Mm-hmm. But also, the phone creates a privacy place for like your friends and your group messaging and all that stuff. And it's like you can talk shit to these people, but you can't talk shit to these people.
Yeah.
And when somebody says like, especially when a police officer or some type of higher up says, "Can I see your phone?" Definitely not going to do that job. Like right now, if somebody was like, "Hey, let me see your phone," I'm like, yeah, go fuck yourself, dude. I have way too much shit to incriminate myself. I cannot do that shit, Yeah. And it's not like I have anything bad. It's just like I don't want people to find out like some shit, you know. And I'm talking shit to my friends, and I'm like talking about deep shit. I don't want a fucking guy to know that I sleep with a fucking pacifier or some shit, But that's hard. I feel like you would have to question your whole existence almost.
Yeah, I wasn't really prepared for it.
Yeah, all the way up until you got like social media is like whenever you would have to like figure out like, okay, am I really going to be doing this? Because there's a lot of stuff that you post and it could be taken completely the wrong way if you really think about it, Yeah. But that's crazy. You were like, would you rather, or no, you did truth or dare, basically.
Yeah.
You're like, I dare you to look at my phone, or I'm going to tell you the truth about my phone.
Yeah.
So you went through that process. Did they get your parents to like walk into the place like individually, or was it a call, or how they do that?
Like, no, not my parents. My parents were involved. They talked about like bringing the family in so they could see what we're doing and stuff, but that kind of got lost in all the training and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But
it was more of your friends then.
Yeah.
I talked to your friends.
Yeah. And then it's funny that you bring that up. So my friend, like I said, I'm boring. I didn't drink, I didn't party, I didn't do all that stuff until probably like college. And then, so they asked her, they were like, so does she drink around you? Does she drink with her family? And she got so nervous. She was like, yeah, she drinks all the time. I don't know. Like, yeah, I was like, when have I ever drank with you?
Like, what the fuck? I'm not an alcoholic. I don't have alcoholism. Jesus.
She just got nervous. I was like, when has that ever happened?
I would have been that friend though. I'm like, yeah, she's fucking crazy.
I was like, I'm trying to get the job. Like,
I'm trying to get hired. I need some cash. The fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Come on. Lie a little bit. Jeez. Yeah, I like a glass of wine every night, but that doesn't mean nothing.
Right.
I'm not drunk. Yeah. Fucking, okay, so like the friend thing, because I obviously there would be some sort of like like some type of like spear into your life, especially with like the phone and stuff. But like when it comes to like friends, I feel like it's a little bit more intrusive than it is with your family members, because family members only know what you want them to know. Friends know everything.
Yeah.
My friend Eric, shout out to fucking Eric. He knows me like the back of his fucking hand. And he knows a lot of shit about me. If somebody was like, I need you to tell me about Braxton, Eric would be the guy. Don't try to blackmail me. Don't go to Eric and beat him up so that he can give you all the information. Nah, I fucking love the guy. But, friends are like that. They have everything. They have the secrets and shit.
Yeah.
And going into in a situation like that where a police officer, was it a police officer asking these questions, or was it like a...
Yeah,
okay.
She is.
So like a police officer asking these questions to a friend, like... there has to be a certain amount of like psychology, or I guess, right, psychology, to where if somebody came up to you and you asked them a question about something and they started sweating, and you obviously know if there's something up.
Yeah.
Right.
But I feel like she didn't even like push her that hard. She just was like, yeah.
Yeah, she does. She drinks a lot. Nah, I don't care. Yeah, it's whatever. So then you get the job. All of this hard, crazy 3 months process. 3 months. You better fucking have a job. 3 months process, you get hired. Where are you at this point? Like, where are you at the 911?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're at 911 dispatch.
Yeah, so they have this training room, and they have computers where we get to do like mock calls, and we have to be able to type a certain speed, so we do typing tests.
Jesus, I should have brought a fucking keyboard. Like, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna time you right now. Are you pretty fast in that?
I think the fastest. I'm not too fast, but like 60 words per minute. It's not too fast.
Wow.
But like a lot of the stuff, whenever people are talking, I have to.
It's 1 word a second.
Take it and figure out how I need to put it into words, and then I can use abbreviations and stuff like that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'd like this. And she said 12, 7. That's what me. I'm not really good at fucking. But I never thought of that like you're at dispatch, you would have to do the typing.
Yeah.
I thought for some reason I always thought it was like you were on a phone with somebody at all times, and somebody calls, you answer, and you're talking to the police officer.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was always, like where you're like, okay, hold on, man, we're gonna get him on the line. Yep, 20, whatever the fucking address is, all of that. I thought it was like that. I didn't know that you had to type out all of that.
Mm-hmm.
How much paperwork does that involve?
Like on each call, or what are you talking about?
I would say a night.
So honestly, it's not any paperwork. It's like as soon as you call, I'm typing in addresses, phone numbers, your name, and then tell me exactly what happened, and then you're telling me what's happening. I'm typing it out, sending it to the officers that are responding.
Yeah.
So each call has its own, I guess, paperwork,
Right.
But it's just all computerized and.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, so you're I guess so you got the 3 month I went blank.
The
application
process,
interview, whatever. And then you go in and they test you, or not test you, but they show you the ropes on how to do all this stuff. Mm-hmm. When do you actually start doing all of this stuff by yourself?
So I can't remember exactly how long our classes was. It was like a couple of months, I want to say.
Yeah.
And then
are you getting paid at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then we're put with a trainer, and like for a little bit, like at the 3 stages where we watch them, we don't do anything. The second one, we're doing a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then the third one, it's all us, and they're just watching us, and then they sign us off, and then we're off on our own and doing it. So.
Right. Heck yeah. So you walk in, it's your first day. Does obviously you're nervous, right? Do you remember the first day that you worked?
No, but I recently went back, so I remember what it's like now.
How it is again.
Yeah.
Like, obviously there has been some crazy fucking phone calls, right?
Yeah.
Has there been any like phone calls to where you're like, I don't even know if I can do this shit anymore? Like you question yourself, and you're like, I don't even know if I should be in this job anymore.
I don't know. Not really. Like at the end of the call, it's like we've done the best that we can do, and it just makes me feel relieved that we got them the help.
Yeah.
So Not that I haven't had anything that it's like I can't do this anymore, but it's like I've had times where I'm like crying on the phone with these people.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because it's hard calls, and we're going through stuff as people, and they're going through stuff, and sometimes it happens to line up. So it's like,
Dang. So when it comes to like, you have to keep your composure, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to, like, obviously. When it comes to a situation like that, how do you work through that?
I just remember that it's not my emergency; it's their emergency, and so I just gotta clear. I have to be the calm in their chaos.
Oh, okay. So you have to put like a mental block kind of and be like, I'm not a part of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just. You're not even looking into the thing. You're just hearing everything. That's what's fucking crazy to me too. Is like, not only do you not see what's going on, you have to talk to the person. You have to talk to the person and be like, what do you see? What do you see?
Exactly.
I don't see it. What do you see? Where are you at? That would be fucking
It's hard for people to understand that too, that we're not there. So we need them to explain what's going on so we can get better response to them. I
get so mad because, like, I've called the police before. I've called the police, for just random shit. I've called the police because at my job, I've had guns pulled out on me and stuff, stupid shit. But I always get, like, frustrated, and it's like, hey, my name is Brex. Like, no, I'm like, hey, there's an emergency. There's a guy with a gun. He's, like, driving around, and she's like, what's your name? I'm like, well, it doesn't fucking matter, honestly. But, I mean, I guess I could give you my name and what car I'm driving and my phone number and the address that I'm at, And I forget that it's like, I know these things.
Yeah.
I fucking know them, but you don't fucking know them.
Yeah.
And it's a funny but also scary thing to deal with when it comes to situations like that, to where it's like something very, very serious is happening, and you're like, where are you? Is anybody hurt? Is anybody dead?
And not only like what you're going through right now, like what's your address, stuff like that. Like if you needed the cops right away but you couldn't talk, we could look up that stuff and see, hey, you've called from this address before. This is probably your address.
Right, indeed.
Yeah, so
get a fucking Apple Watch, and they'll call the Apple Watch and they'll tell the location. You know what I'm saying? That'd be easier for the cops, for the police. Oh, that's a cool question too. Are cops okay with being called cops, or is it they would rather be called police?
I don't know.
I've heard that policemen get very upset if you call them cops. Really? But then I have friends that are cops and like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I don't give a shit.
there's more important stuff going on than what you're calling me. Yeah, I don't know.
What does COP stand for?
I didn't know it was an acronym. What do you mean?
I think it is an acronym.
I don't know.
We're looking it up right now. What's the definition of cops?
Does cops stand for anything like?
What's the definition of cops? Cop. Nope, it's just cop.
This is cop. Yeah.
Now, a police officer. That's it. I thought it was I thought it was an acronym for something. But it kind of, if you do an acronym, it's kind of like COPD. So you can't really. COPD's a disease. So I guess you're right. Then why do people call them cops?
I don't know.
Let's see. Cop is definition of cop. Doesn't give me anything.
Nothing?
We're just gonna have to look into it more, I guess.
You give me something to look at
really think
and
about,
ask them.
And that's also going into like what I was talking about, how some people see police officers and what you do kind of a hassle to deal with, and some people are like, oh, I'd rather just deal with it my way and all of that stuff, and then it just gets to the point where it's like everything that in this area gets murky. Mm-hmm. It gets very murky because on one hand, it isn't your problem. they can go fuck themselves, you know. But it's the truth. It really is the truth. As much as we want to take care of the community and the world and humanity, it's not your fucking problem, you know. And when it comes to like people being how they are, assholes or dicks to people that are in your career place and your job, it gets kind of. I would think, in my opinion, I would think it would get kind of annoying to be like, well, I come here every fucking day and I get harassed and I get fucking told that I'm a piece of shit because I'm working at the police force, and now I have to take calls for break-ins and dick husbands and boyfriends beating their fucking girlfriends and shit. And it's like, how do you... is there a line to you? Like, do you just go in there and be like, this is my job? That's it.
Well, like you said, like, we do have those days where it's like, well, why are we doing this?
Right.
But it's that one call that reminds us exactly why we're doing what we're doing. Like, it's not always going to be those crazy big emergencies. It's going to be those little... someone is playing their music too loud and we have to send the officers, or
a cat stuck up on a tree again. Little Jimmy fell in the well the third time this week.
But I mean, that happens. Like, with every job, you have those little things that you have to do that gets tedious and annoying, but it's that one thing that reminds you why you're doing your job, and you're like, it keeps you going. Right.
I don't know what I would do. Why is Emilio telling me that he got his gear? Shout out to Emilio. I would see that too, but they're like, even like, I feel like with every job, it's like, you get $10 here, $10 there. You see your old friend for the first time in like 10 years. Like, I'm glad that I have this job because I wouldn't have been able to. Yeah. But like in a situation like that, I guess like the stakes are so high, so high, that you're like, I don't want to do this job because it's fucking one, boring as fuck, or two, I have to deal with bullshit like like I just said. I could see, like, getting a call from a little girl or, like, a grandma or something, and something actually really happening, and then you're like, I did good today. Yeah. I did good, cowboy. I could definitely see that. And I feel like everybody should be able to see that. I feel like everybody should be able to see the inside of that job, because y'all get overlooked. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's true. You get overlooked. Please, the first face that you see is the police officers, but the first voice you hear is you. Yeah. But people don't differentiate the two, and it kind of sucks because, like, a police officer will get fucking brownies, and you're just like, hey, it's me.
We led you through CPR for 30 minutes, but it's okay. Fine.
We led you out of a burning building, but it's cool. It's whatever. Yeah. I'm over here sipping on my Sierra Mist. It's cool. It's fine. On my diet water. It's cool. It's not a big deal. I'm over here fucking. What's your hours like?
Right now it's 12 hours, 14 hours. Some people are doing 16. Fuck. But I mean, we run 24/7, 365, no matter what the weather is. Like, we're showing up to work. We have to. Right. Like.
Yeah, there's no fucking doubt about it. Like, you call the police and they're like, we're on vacation.
Yeah.
Everybody's out today. Yeah. You don't have to talk. You don't have to say, but like, pay good, pay not good.
Yeah, I think it. We just got a raise, so it's actually pretty good. Even starting out. Yeah? Mm-hmm. How's the work environment? The work environment, I mean, you're working 16 hours a fucking day there. Yeah. So, like, is the work environment good? I mean, it's chill. A lot of the stuff, you're, like, in your own you have your own computers, your own phone, so you can just, if you want to talk to everybody, like, we play FaceTime and stuff between, like, slow calls. Like, there'll be hours between. Right. So it's a lot like a family. Like, you spend most of your time with those people.
Yeah, so. Yeah, 100%. And, your life might not be on the line, but you know that people's lives are on the line, and the people that you work with lives are on the line. Mm-hmm. Is that always in the back of your head? Like, you might not see these people tomorrow.
Now I do.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just. These are the questions that, like, I feel like people have, and it's like, I want to sit in your place. I want to get into the head of 911 dispatcher, and it's like now that you will fucking think about that, I'm sorry, but you know, it's one of those things where it's like in my opinion, I would feel like if I was sitting there with these people, like, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen in 5 minutes, and then you know, it's what it is. And I guess I said that. I guess I'm saying that because I had a death in my life recently, and I was gonna go see him. Like, it was like Friday, and then I found out he passed away on Saturday, and I was gonna go see him on Sunday because I told my fiance, I was like, I'm gonna go hang out with my friend on Sunday because we were gonna go to my hometown and we're gonna go to this little party that my family was. And I was like, I'm gonna go say what's up. He's a little bit older. He doesn't really do the whole social media shit. And yeah, that fucking morning, my mom texted me. He's like, I don't know if he was your friend, but he fucking died. I was like, what the fuck? So like, I guess that's why I asked, because like, you're living in that place every fucking day.
Yeah.
Like, you're living in that place where it's like, oh, you know, Jesse's my fucking friend now. Like, I've been working with him for a few months, or I've been working with Crystal for a year and a half, and it's like, these are my friends, these are my people, like, I would call them family, and they might die tonight.
I don't know if it's like me being desensitized from like both 911 and the prison, like people dying all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know, people die.
Have you had like a person in your life like pass away from this?
Besides like being old?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're placed in Amarillo, so, and people know where we are. But like, Amarillo is not too. Is Amarillo as crazy as people say it is, or is it like?
I grew up like really sheltered and not really paying attention. Like, I was like, oh, nothing crime happens in Amarillo, nothing. And then working at 911, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Like, it's crazy.
That's wild.
I never thought like shootings happened. I don't know, like, if that's me being sheltered,
Oh man. Did you Were you around when that guy was going around shooting people?
So I was actually working at the prison then, but I had heard about it. It was, yeah.
Have they caught? Do you know?
I think they like caught one of them, but I don't know if it was.
There was multiple people.
Yeah,
I thought it was just one person.
I don't know.
I was working that night when I heard about all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I had people coming because like our dock, we have one dock, and so like all of our delivery guys have to go to that dock, and there was people like coming to work when he was like shooting around.
It was scary. It
was
a
like,
scary time.
Heck? It was wild.
And I was hearing like he was like driving and shooting, and so people in their cars were being shot, and I was like thinking like me just driving to work and just getting shot in my car.
Grand Theft Auto type shit.
Yeah.
Like, you need to chill the fuck out. But like, I mean, I don't know. Amarillo is not too wild. It is wild in the perspective of like, if you live here, you know what it is. But you know, compared to like Albuquerque or fucking Chicago, like, you know. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like it's irrelevant on how crazy this place is, because of the fact that on a day-to-day basis you deal with shit that you don't want to, and I don't think anybody wants to deal with that shit. So is it really a question of like, how bad is it? It doesn't really. I get so fucking stuck in my head to where it's like, I don't think it's bad, but somebody else might think it's bad, so it is bad, you know, or it is good or whatever. It can be positive or negative. It's just one of those things where like you have to think of it as like, it's just not you living in this life. It's everybody else, and you might think it's fucking crazy, and someone else might not, and so on and so forth. But we are actually going to take a little bit of a break here. I like to shout out a band or a musician or an artist. It's usually rap music, but
who do we have today?
Actually, you know what? I kind of want to do my homie Lilith. She is actually, you know what? I was like, it's fucking an artist or a rapper. It's usually a rapper. She is actually she does EDM music.
Okay.
And she lives in Lubbock. Let me see if I can get her information. Come on now. There it is. Anyway, or do you have? I don't know if you like. Are you in the music world?
Not big. I mean, I listen. I listen to like Nicole Wetzel and Parker McCullough.
Wow, you're a country girl.
Yeah.
You're a country girl.
If I do go on that side, it's like Russ or...
Russ?
Yeah.
I have his book over there.
I love Russ.
Russ has a book. I don't know if you ever knew. Yeah, he has a book. There she is, Lilith. It's Lilleth. I think she'll be all right if I shout her out. We're going to look up her Spotify. She doesn't have a YouTube. That's why it's so hard to find her, I guess. We're going to play Necro Nancy. Does that sound pretty good to you?
Let's go.
This is Lilith, Lilleth, and we're going to listen to Necro Nancy, which is NECRONANCY, and let's fucking do it. There you have it, everybody. That was Lilith. And the song was called Necro Nancy. That is Lilleth. And the song was called Necro Nancy, which is NECRONANCY. First time person or first timer to ever be on the podcast. I try my best to get someone different every time, and sometimes I forget. And plus, I have my favorites too. Like shout out to Kid Carrillo and Big O. He's a badass influence in my life, and so like I'll shout them out. I'll shout them out more times than none. But Lilith has been on my timeline for a while because she's about to go on tour. So give her a shout out. All of her shit will be there, and you can follow her and support her. And she has like merch and stuff too, and all that good shit. But shout her out. Anyway, we're back. We're back to the more serious topics about the. I guess like, would you say like the police forces? I mean, it is important to our nation, but like, do you think it's like the? Do you think it needs work, or do you think it needs just? What do you think the police force is right now?
I think everything needs work always.
Right.
And so, I mean, changing times. And just getting more with the
the
times.
Yeah, being in tune with everything. I feel like I don't know if you're like into the comedy world. Are you in the comedy world, as in like watching their stuff?
Yeah.
cancel culture is happening.
Yeah.
Things that have happened like 12 years ago comes to light. You know, whoever said whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, Louis C.K., you know, that motherfucker that let fucking jacked off. Anyway, things like that don't need to happen, you know? Yeah. And with the times and everything, you need to figure out how to go with the current. Sorry, your fucking old ass doesn't want to fucking change or anything, but you need to go with the current. And if you are in a position like this, you need to make sure that your ducks are in a row, or you're gonna get fucked.
Yeah.
You know, at the end, and that goes, and that doesn't even go with you know, just being a human being. You know, maybe 50 years ago you could have fucking pistol whipped that dude that you know stole a pack of gum, but today you can't.
Yeah.
You can't pistol whip anybody, and it's not that they deserve or not deserve to be pistol whipped. It's that human decency. He stole a piece of gum. You know, not slap on the wrist or anything, but there's a difference in our world's system. There's a difference between stealing a piece of gum and fucking murdering somebody.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And there, I'm not saying that all cops are that way. I'm definitely not saying that all cops are that way, but there are cops that have done that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, where's this line? Where is this line that we're trying to get at? It goes all the way down to, we can get into the George Floyd thing, and we can do that because, I mean, it even goes into that situation where George Floyd had a hot chick. Sucks that he had a hot chick. Whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. That police officer didn't have the right to fucking kill him. It was just money.
Yeah.
Either way you see it, legally or illegally, it was just money. And, you know, he would have caught justice sooner or later. You know, I believe in karma. Karma's a bitch. You know, George Floyd, sorry, but if you had a hot check and you fucking, karma would have went your way. But to actually forcefully kill somebody because of a hot check, you know, it's kind of fucked. You know, yeah. And you in the light like that, you in a light where it's like, we just got done talking about how important that a dispatcher is to mm-hmm. Now we're getting into like, you are looking straight in the face of a fucking murderer or a rapist or mm-hmm. or a kid that had 3 grams of marijuana in his pocket or, you know, some situation. I'm not really sure like what gets you in prison, but you know, a guy that was speeding or, you know, or as fucked up as it is, just a guy or a woman doing something that they just were dumb enough to do and they regret it, you know, drinking and driving, you know. We don't know their situation. They could be alcoholics and just being dumbasses, or they could have been like, my mom just fucking passed away and I was being stupid and I fucking regret it, but now they're in prison, you know. Mm-hmm. So we're getting into Pearl being a correctional officer. So how did that? So you did the dispatch, and then you jumped into being a correctional officer. What was the timeline for that? What happened?
Funny story. So I was watching the show.
Yeah.
And I was watching the correctional officers, and I was like, that looks fucking badass. I want to do that. And so I just looked it up on because TV was like, that looks cool. So
you're like, I want to be on Beyond Scared Straight. Is it like that? Is like correctional officer being like Beyond Scared Straight shit?
I don't think any of the shows prepared me for what I came to go into prison. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was definitely almost like a culture shock whenever I went into prison. It was crazy. And
what was what shocked you? What was the thing like?
Everything, like the conditions that you live in while you're in prison, the people that you meet are in prison. Like TV just I guess the TV that and I was watching like whenever I think of criminals, I'm like, oh, they're hard, they're horrible people. Yeah, and then I went in there and I'm like, they're just people.
Yeah. They, you know, obviously you could tell a person, but how they are, like, I don't think I will be able to look into a face of like a child murderer or something like that. That might be a little bit too hard. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I could probably look in the face of like an abuser or some type of an assaulter or, you know, I don't know, a guy that fights dogs, some weird shit to get you in prison, you know? You know, I bet you I could look into the face of them and be like, you know, you're just a dude. You're just a guy being a dude, and you're here. Yeah. So, like, okay, we're getting too far into that, you know? So you're like, I'm just going to do this. How was the, I guess you could say, hello. You got bigger jars. For what? We're going to pickle. We're going to start pickling, huh? Is that what that's called, pickling?
I think so.
With the vinegar and stuff?
I think so.
I think it's called vinegaring.
Vinegaring? It's called vinegaring. Bex is here, guys. Say hello.
Like they can hear me.
Yeah, but they miss you. They say it all the time on the comments.
Who?
We don't have to go there.
That's what I thought.
We don't have to talk about that. I'm just saying, there's somebody out there that misses you. I miss you. I miss you on the pod.
Well, have me on the pod.
Well, fucking just get the computer and pretend that you're looking stuff up like you always do. She used to be my my computer, like my Jamie off of Joe Rogan. She used to be my Jamie. But I would never ask her to look anything up. She would just be playing like...
I would play, I literally would play Club Penguin.
Yeah, she
could have looked up the cops thing.
Yeah. We thought that cops was an acronym for something. But it's just a word.
Is it not?
No.
Why does it have the periods then?
Right, because on Cops, the show Cops,
oh,
there is...
yeah. There
so,
is periods.
Look it up, because I don't want to, like, keep people, like... See,
Have you seen the episode of Cops that was here in Amarillo? Do you know where the tri-state, the tri is? The flea market?
Oh, yeah.
They were in there.
What? I'm going to have to look that up.
That's crazy.
It was super cool.
It wasn't me. It was me. It was me. They were chasing me. Have you ever been arrested?
No. I would not be able to have the jobs that I had if I could.
Wait, if you got, like, are you, like, you... Even if you got arrested for some stupid shit, you wouldn't have this job?
I don't think so. They want, like, not...
They want the best of the best.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. They want more boring people, I guess.
They don't want people that, like, knew the cellmates while they were in the cell.
Yeah. Even
Citizens on Patrol Society.
Citizens on Patrol Society.
Or Coastal Oceans Prediction Systems.
Oh, see, where was that when you were looking it up?
I know. I don't know where that was. I couldn't find it. So, what was it?
Citizens
on Patrol.
On Patrol Society.
Society. Cops.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I would... Honestly, right. I would rather be called a cop. Because that sounds pretty fucking hard. I'm a citizen on patrol. And I'm in a society.
Like a neighborhood watch person.
Yeah, it's like a cult. Maybe. Would you consider policeman cult a cult now? It's a society, and they salute. I know, I've seen it before. I've seen cops salute before. So, I don't know. Anyway, my fucking phone is blowing up on Instagram, guys. Stop. I'm on podcast. So the training for that. Is there any training, or they just said, "Hey"?
Yeah, I did 6 weeks.
Wow, 6 weeks? Just 6 weeks?
Yeah.
You did 2 weeks for a phone, right? About 2 weeks?
Yeah, well, about like 2 months.
Whoa, okay.
2 months. Yeah.
You did 2 months for a phone. You did 2 months to type and be on a phone, and you took 6 weeks to be a human being in a prison.
Yeah, and like not even like minimum custody. I was in a maximum security men's prison.
Okay, hold on. People, you don't understand. She did 2 months on a phone call. That was your what was it?
The training.
The training. Why am I going fucking brain dead? The training. 2 months to be a dispatch. 2 months to be on a phone typing. And then you go into a maximum security men's facility to be a correctional officer, and the training is 6 weeks, a month, almost. It's like give or take, right?
I think a month is like 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
So it's about a week and a half.
So
a month and a half.
A month
and a half. That's insane. It feels like that's not a lot of time.
Enough. Yeah, definitely not enough. It did not prepare me. No.
Did you have like physical?
Yeah.
Okay.
We
all right. Well, you check a mark on the physical then.
We did do more like we did DT defensive training.
Yeah.
We did make sure that we could like run, because if something happened, we would have to run.
Right.
And like the prison like farm, we called it, is huge. So if you're responding from one building to another building, you got to run.
Oh yeah, you better fucking hustle.
So we learned how to fight. We learned how to use the weapons that we did have on us. So you can't like bring any guns or anything onto the prison. So
what did you have for a weapon?
It was basically like pepper spray.
Oh, I was like a paper gun. It was a paper baton.
Pepper spray, but like COP, but it's a little stronger.
Wow, so you don't have any like no pistol, no taser?
No.
Did you have to get pepper spray?
We did.
How was that?
That was horrible. I peed my pants.
No shit. You pissed your pants? I probably would have shit my pants for sure, though. For real.
It was so bad. We get gassed. We get like all in the same.
You don't want to like have somebody do that to you if they don't know what it's like.
Right.
Yeah, and then you need to be able to like get accustomed to it. So if you do it to somebody and it obviously comes back, so you need to be able to fight whenever you get sprayed like that. So.
Wow, that's insane.
You just swing. Right?
Yeah,
you just swing.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. I never want to do that again.
What's weird to me is, I just thought about this. What's weird to me is you have this whole world that's open. This open world. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You know, you have enough space. You can run, you can drive, you can fucking whatever. Mm-hmm. But we have pistols. But you go into a maximum security facility for people that are supposed to be there, and you got a fucking pepper spray.
Well, I think it's, if they got a hold of it, it would probably cause more damage than us using it.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
There has to be, I don't know. Comments.
Yeah.
See if that's right. Would you rather have a correctional officer have a gun other than a police officer? I don't know. These are the questions that I have a hard time with, because, like...
Okay, but, like, imagine this, because she worked at an all-men's facility, right?
Yeah.
So imagine her.
Yeah.
With a pod full of men.
Yeah.
Would you rather them take a gun or a pepper spray?
I just feel like either way, if it's pepper spray or not, you're just going to get murdered.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
By the bare hands. Probably.
So what we need is, like, we need to put a microchip in your neck, right? And you're already going to be dead. So, like, whenever they do that, they just blow it up. Just blow you up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And you're like, Allah Akbar, boom.
Just blow me up.
That'd be, I mean, I just feel like it's crazy to, like, just, you're walking in, you've had 6 weeks of training, you don't have a fucking gun, you have pepper spray, and you're just walking around this facility that is closed to the world.
Yeah.
Completely just closed to the world, and people are like, yeah, we don't need a gun. This guy murdered fucking 12 people, but you don't need a gun. It's fine, you can just pepper spray him.
Yeah. And they fade that because they get accustomed to it too.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
They fade it.
Like they literally will get used to it. Like they will literally, if as much time as they get pepper sprayed.
We get pepper sprayed once. They are living there for years.
Yeah, infinite. So, I bet you there's a guy that's like, I'm training to be able to see with pepper spray. And there's a guy in prison just like spraying me, bitch.
You got plenty of time to make your body immune
to
many things.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I'd do.
They do
start getting bit by spiders and stuff or something, and then, like, become immune.
Yeah, just get rabies from a mouse or a little rat.
So one guy, he got bit in the, I think it was his balls or something. He got bit there, and he was like, "I need you to go get the nurse. I need you to go check this. I need you to look at it." I said, you just want me to see your dick. And I did not believe him, but I told the nurse anyway. They go over there, and sure enough, he got bit in the dick.
You got us.
What? Got bit in the dick? What the fuck? He probably wanted that spider to bite him in the dick. You know, he was like, I need a reason for people to see my dick. I just need a reason.
I hear some cool stories like that though.
I got some stories.
Especially like in the shoe or whatever, like the isolation pods.
Yeah.
They're like, they go like wild in there.
Yeah, that's why.
Especially when a woman comes in, they're like.
So
that's exactly it. That's where I worked.
So how did that? You walked in, they knew that you're like new. Was it like that?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, new meat, fresh meat. Yeah.
So they know how to play the game. They know that we're not just gonna stand there and watch them jack off.
Right.
So I was new. I didn't know the games.
Right.
So this guy, he's like, oh, I just got this letter from my family. I broke my glasses, and I really want to read it,
right.
But I worked in the psych facility, so they're only one to a cell.
Yeah.
So obviously his cellie couldn't, whatever. Anyways, so he's like, will you read it to me? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I start reading it to him. And as I'm reading, he's jacking off to me, and I was like, dang, you got me. You got me.
You're like, oh, I got fucking pranked. And
yes.
all that. So you got fucking pranked. There's a camera there. There's a camera there. You got fucking pranked, dude.
Yes, exactly.
You gotta be, like, I guess, obviously, like, working there, too, you get desensitized from people jacking off and shit, so it's not a big deal. But, like, it's just fucking weird. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Do women do that? Like, do women in a different, like, in women's cells, they do that shit?
I have heard that they, like, people that come from other units to help us out, that come from women facilities, they are like, yeah, they're worse than the men.
Especially, during the 1 week a month.
Exactly.
Oh, I bet it stinks, especially, like, in an open pod.
Definitely.
Exactly.
I'm signing up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sign up.
Yeah, it's nasty.
I want to get harassed by the women over there, by the jailbird ladies. But so like it was your first week and stuff. Like, were you like super nervous, or were you like, it's just another day?
I was super nervous because we watched this video in training. Actually, a lady out from the unit that I'm off of, and she was stabbed on the third row, so third floor. She was stabbed, and he was trying to throw her over the railing.
Oh, damn.
And
she was like holding on.
Well, no, she was
already
like almost dead. No, she didn't die, but she was like passed out. But she was so bloody that he couldn't lift her. That's why he said if she wasn't so bloody, if she wasn't, he would have thrown her off the third row. So like all of us, like off the bat, I was like, this, I could get stabbed right now. I could. These are men.
This could be it,
Exactly.
And a lot of them, do they have like weightlifting? Do they have gym in there?
No, but they make their own.
Yeah, so like, what else do they have to do?
Exactly. They work out.
Yeah.
They fill bags of water and just lift the water.
Have you been in a situation kind of like not like that insane, but like have you been in a situation where you're like, this is probably life or death right now?
Not like a huge deal, but so they have to go to hospitals, they have to go to dentists just like we do.
Yeah.
So I mean, we have a kind of like a doctor's office there, but whenever they have to go to the hospital, we obviously take them to the hospital. So we're out in the hospital in the ER, so we're with everybody else. The only thing that's stopping this inmate from getting to everybody else is me.
Right.
So I don't like, it's a big man.
That's crazy.
And then me.
Yeah.
And so he decided he did not want to lay in his bed anymore. And so he was standing toe to toe. Obviously he's like restrained. Yeah. And
well, in the 1500s, shackled.
Well, that's what they do the feet too. So usually when they're transport, they shackle them.
Yeah,
so
restrained. Yeah.
Shackle just sounds like a really old term for like in. You play Skyrim too much.
I'm sorry.
You're going to be shackled, sir. Shackled.
But yeah, and he was
the ball, the big ass black ball.
Oh my God.
Anyway, sorry.
He tried to like fight me, and he wanted me to fight him, but he
was like, "Come on, I know you got arms."
Yeah, he grabbed my finger, bent it back, and he pushed me. But thankfully that was it.
So he broke your finger?
No, he just like hurt me. Yeah.
I could just see fucking like your fucking.
So you don't get sued. So they don't get sued or anything.
Huh?
Do you have to sign something first before you start, so you don't sue them or anything for workman's comp or anything?
I mean, I think
like a non-disclaimer.
I signed a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I didn't really read what I was.
Actually, that's a cool one. Do you have to take any type of like vaccine or like shots?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No. But, so I was spit on by one of the inmates, and it got in my eyes. So, but...
Gross.
Yeah. So we have to make sure they don't have anything that could have been given to me. So, whenever I left, I went to the doctor and got shots for everything.
They're like, you have almost... That guy had everything. You're fucked.
They said he didn't have anything, but just in case, you never know what you...
Were you like tripping out? Like,
I was so mad.
Like I would be literally tripping. Like I would be like, I'm gonna fucking die from like AIDS or something.
Yeah,
like,
and
he had AIDS for
not
sure.
only me, but I was scared I was gonna pass it to my husband.
Oh right. Yeah. Dang.
So.
Were you a correctional officer during COVID?
Yes, I was.
How in the fuck did that work?
It was like, so a lot of the times they got to go out and go to the rec yard or go to the cafeteria, stuff like that. But during COVID, they were locked down. So they got meals in a sack almost every day. They couldn't go anywhere. And then we had isolation pods that pod specifically had all the COVID.
Yeah.
So we would have to wear like the PPE and stuff like that.
Jesus Christ. Was it like a madhouse in there?
Yeah, because they want to go out, and then if they did get a chance to go out, it was hell trying to get them back in.
Damn.
Did you have to wear it with your wool, the PPE with your whole thing too?
Yeah, so we have like a stab-proof vest on, and then obviously our uniform.
How fucking hot was that shit?
It was so hot. That's how much, like, I lost so much weight because I was sweating so much.
I mean, I need to start being a correctional officer. I need to fucking lose some weight, shit.
Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy. Like this.
No visits with family.
So fucked. Like, do you think? I mean, obviously, the COVID is just a fucked thing. But do you think it's fair for what they dealt with, for what you dealt with too? But like for what the inmates had to deal with because of COVID.
I can't imagine like being told like I absolutely cannot leave my house, no matter what.
Right.
This is where I stayed.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like law. They're already staying in this place, and the 2 hours or whatever the fuck they get to be outside is taken away from them. How long do they get to be outside? Like on a regular basis?
An hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
Like so, if they get that taken away, like holy shit.
Yeah.
Probably go insane.
Yeah.
So you got an hour to be outside? I mean, sometimes I only go out for an hour, but like even then, like I can't.
That was your only choice.
Yeah.
Like I can go outside for an hour if I wanted to.
I can't imagine.
That it's.
When you do the crime, you gotta pay the time.
See, that's where like, so I wanted to be a police officer,
right?
But that kind of like deterred me because I didn't want to put people in that place. Like some people 100% deserve to be in
like
that
murderers
place.
and R-worders and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure.
100%, but then
maybe animal killers. Yeah, animal murderers for sure. What would you say? What would you say?
Animal murders? I don't think they deserve to be in prison. Maybe jail time if that's the thing.
Like okay, like I would say like cats and dogs for sure. But if you're killing squirrels, I don't fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out, Peter, don't come after me. Fuck you.
But yeah, like, but I think prison times.
Like rough.
It's hard. Yeah.
Do you don't I'm not gonna say you have to name names or anything, but do you know people that are like doing hard time for like something you're like, why the fuck are you even in here?
So, like I said, I worked at a maximum security, so a lot of them that I was like, yeah, you should be in here. Like the stories that I heard them, what they did, like they'll tell you straight up what they did.
Yeah, I murdered my grandma.
Yeah, one guy he told me like it was a normal Tuesday that he grabbed a big rock and just dropped it on these people's head, and it just. Yeah, and it was just a normal Tuesday to him. So I was like, yeah.
He's like, yeah, I got a rock just dropped on the head. It's just...
But whenever I was there, my thing was like, what is the word? Whenever you get better. I don't know if you can get
detox?
better. Like
when you see Jesus.
Yeah.
When you see the Lord Jesus,
yeah.
amen. Whenever the Lord saves you from your murderous thoughts, when your dark demons are delivered from your body in a long tube. Amen. Amen. I'm sorry.
But
I have a...
But yeah, definitely, like, what is... I cannot think of
delivered.
Yeah. Where they're... Saved from their bad ways, I guess. Yeah.
When the devil gets out of your soul and God comes into your soul because you read the Bible.
I think there should be better programs.
Right.
To reintegrate, like that's our thing, Bob. Like reintegrate them into society. I think that
shock therapy.
I don't know, but yeah.
What about shock therapy?
Programs. Because
what about
no.
Yes. Prisoners that R-word or murder or any type of like terrorist whatever lobotomies.
No. No.
For sure.
What is lobotomies?
Yeah, lobotomy.
Like castration?
No, it's like is it the frontal lobe of your brain? They used to do this to women. You should really look it up. They used to do this to women, like for real. They would put a ice pick under your eye, and then they would do that.
Oh my god!
And you wouldn't go brain dead. It was more of like
completely nulls all your emotions.
It completely nulls like everything that you feel.
Wow.
So like they were doing that to women back in the 50s because you were supposed to be a woman. Or the backhand is you're gonna see the backhand, and so they would do lobotomies and stuff. I think that's what they should do for. I mean, it would totally wipe out the whole facility.
Services.
Come on, I want it to be extreme.
Or even like old people that have like lost their marbles, like they're not there anymore. I don't think that I think they should be in like old folks home, but for prisoners, not like prison, because they don't know how to take care of themselves. They're disgusting.
I worked. That's what I worked with, and it was like that, where it's like they almost like they have the illusion of the freedom, but in all reality, they're 100% on schedule, being taken care of.
More nurses.
Why don't we just use the people that are in prison to do the jobs that we don't want to do?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about with like community services. Like, we could utilize a lot more.
It would definitely save us a lot of American dollars for them to work for free.
Yeah.
Construction and.
But
like they have prison jobs over there, right?
Yeah.
And it only pays like 2 cents an hour.
I don't think they get paid.
Oh really?
Yeah. They just do it for free, but it gets them out of their cells. It gets them away from their.
I still think
cellmates.
lobotomy. I still think lobotomy for sure.
Some of those guys that I met, I'm 100. Yeah, I'm on that.
So like I was saying, is there people that that like, I mean, not know as like a human, but is there people that you're like, I don't even know why you're in here. Like you should have been out like fucking 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And
well,
why is that? Like, what's the deal with all of that?
Like I said, I feel like they've reintegrated. I feel like they've done their time, and it's time for them to move on. Not that I take anything away from the victims or anything like that, but prison's hard.
Right, prison's a tough place.
Prison is made for like bad people, not.
But this also includes people that have gotten hard time for maybe even accidents.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether that be like drug induced or alcohol induced or whatever. Like I said, drinking and driving is a real big fucking thing. And if you fucking crash into a car and kill 5 people, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And you are going to prison. You're going to prison.
You meet some of the most religious people in prison and stuff, too.
Right.
Like those inmates and stuff, some of them are the most religious people. Because they, like, got in there and they, like, converted and, like, changed and everything. And you're like...
And some of it can be BS,
Right.
But some of it's real. Like, real.
Right. And so... when it comes to like a man that was just down and out in his luck, got drunk and killed 5 people, now he's in prison for fucking 70 years. Obviously I feel like he knew, like, I gotta do my time. But like you said, there's some people that have like literally got the consequence. They understand the fucking thing, and it's time for them to fucking move on. Time to leave.
Yeah. And then like they get so in prison that they don't know how to live in the real world. Right.
So they don't even know what a fucking iPhone is.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, there's phones in prison.
So. Oh, there's phones in prison?
Have you not seen the TikToks?
Well, yeah, but like
exactly.
I wouldn't think like a 60-year-old or a 70-year-old prisoner would have an iPhone.
I don't know how they're getting them in there. Well, sometimes I do, but like they get smartphones in there. And did you see their butt?
Yeah.
I asked that to somebody, and they were like, "I'm not putting this big freaking smartphone in my butthole." And
I'm just like, saying.
I don't know.
How are you doing it? That was my number one guess. That was my one and only guess.
So some of the officers bring it in.
Oh.
They get like.
They get some money.
They get money, but they also get scared into it because you're dealing with like gangs.
Right.
That not their whole gang is in the inside. They got gangs on the outside
too, and you got family on the outside.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're like.
It's real easy for all those men to like
con you. Like, yeah. And then if you like do one thing for them, they're like, you remember when you did that one thing? If you don't do this, I'm gonna tell on you. And then it just grows and grows. And like, do you
know people that have done that?
So I felt like everybody was good, and so whenever I would find out that people did that, I was like, no way, you did that? What?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but I mean, it's happened to me where they try to con me into bringing them stuff in, but I'm like, y'all aren't paying my bills. There's no way.
You ain't paying my shit.
Have they had any like? Have you like been around or heard of any stories of like relationships with the inmates in the COs?
It's super like it happens a lot more than you think. It's super disgusting, but it happens.
So this is like there's a whole world. This is politics recreated for a small place like a facility like this.
Yeah.
This is insane. This is crazy. This is some shit that I was not expecting to fucking open up. Because I was just like looking into like, do you think that people should serve the times that they do? Or we already got to that. Now I'm all fucking talking about fucking sex in jail.
It's their own world. It's
like
society.
We have nurses there, and there's been nurses caught with some of the inmates.
I bet that's where like most happens too, is the infirmary and stuff.
But yeah, like there's officers that will go, because for the most part we know where the cameras are, and they'll find that out and go fuck with an inmate.
But like, in a real sense, let's be honest here. Mm-hmm. Does that really fucking matter? Like, I would say,
trying to be that example.
Like I would say, like if I got caught, fucking an inmate, like I can't be at that job, or I get transferred or whatever. It's not a big deal. But like, do you think it's like a huge deal to get caught?
Yeah.
Is it enough to like? I think fuck you up in the future.
Prisoners waive their rights. Like, right? Like, once they're in there, they don't have any rights.
Yeah, it's basically rape.
Yeah, that point, in the legal eye, it's rape.
Because we have that. It's like your boss fucking you and to get the upper hand or whatever, yeah.
What?
You're the superior person.
So when you walk into a fucking facility, there's no rules.
What do you mean? Like, there is rules, but we're talking like
they have no rights.
Right.
So you're just like a fucking dog trainer.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
In a sense, yeah.
That's insane.
Like, this is horrible to say. I don't want to cast any bad light on the prison system, but I've seen some bad officers. Well, they'll fuck up an inmate just for
shits and giggles.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like 5 men against an inmate.
Wait, a whole 5 police officers against one inmate? They're just fucking.
Because we have like teams, so that we'll go in there to like get what they need. Exactly. Yeah. Regulate. Yeah. So some people, some guys are dirty and will find their 5 guys that they know that will be on that, and they'll fuck up.
You've heard stories.
I've seen
this.
it.
And you're okay with talking about this?
I know. I'm not saying their names.
Yeah.
It's sad, huh? Like,
it is.
Having to listen to that, like you're like, damn, I had to call this, and now they're like.
Have you did you call this stuff in?
To who? Like I can't be calling the cops.
I can't be calling my own people. Fucking A.
Yeah, it's like,
so that's a catch. It's a catch-22. It's like you see the bad shit that good people are. You see bad shit that quote unquote good people are doing to bad people, quote unquote.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're going to call the quote unquote good people that are doing the quote unquote bad shit to the quote unquote bad guy.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's just like the police brutality kind of thing. Like if you're like the good cop watching the Floyd thing, like who are you gonna call? Like the cops.
The cops are doing it.
That's sad.
That is hard.
That even it makes you feel like powerless.
Exactly.
That's really sad.
And especially as a woman, like I was looked at no better than an inmate because there was females that were fucking inmates. They just thought I was just gonna be another one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're already in it. You're already talking about it.
Yeah.
the prison system for a woman being a police officer or being a correctional officer, is it a different world for being a woman to a man?
It is. It is.
It's still to this day?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I know that we're working on it, obviously, women's rights and stuff. But what is it like? What is it like being a woman, being a correctional officer, and being in that situation like that?
Because of females before me that have done the deed, they think I'm just going to be another one.
Yeah.
I'm just there to have sex with the inmates. I'm just there to, so I have no credit. I have no... And then, like teens and stuff, I'm not big enough. I'm not strong enough as these men.
Right.
And I could fuck up anybody just as well as some of these scrawny ass men on these teams, but, I get put in the women jobs.
Right.
So
the women jobs, what is that?
Like being the camera operator for the team members or stuff
so
like that.
I know it's fucking stupid to fucking say this, but my daughter, she fucking watches a lot of shit, like movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. Zootopia, is it like that? Have you seen Zootopia?
Yeah.
Where the rabbit, she goes in and they're like, yeah, fuck you, you fucking scrawny piece of shit.
I mean, they don't say it outright, but there is a lot of things that I'm like, why aren't you listening to me? And then you kind of boil it down. It's because I'm a female. They don't respect my opinion as much as they would a male's.
Right.
Do any of the inmates just plain out tell you that too? They're like, I'm not going to respect anything a woman tells me.
Oh yeah. Especially if I'm talking about like my fellow officers that are doing that, but especially from the inmates, a lot of them have been there for years, so a lot of their views are still from back whenever they were out in the free world. Yeah, so they don't listen to females. So then we have to go get a man to do stuff,
Are they allowed? They're not allowed to watch the news, are they?
They are.
Oh.
I mean, it's like one little TV, and they all have to share what's being watched. So, but a lot of the time they watch sports. That's what they love to watch.
That's crazy.
If you turn off that TV during sports,
you're done.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a little bit of a break. I got to change the battery out. So give us 1 second, and we'll be right back.
Rollin', chopping competition like a forest. I'm a dog without the leash, but I be living at my lowest. Rollin', chopping competition like a forest. I'm a dog without the leash, but I be living at my lowest. Rollin', chopping competition like a forest. I'm a dog without the leash, and I be living at my lowest. Rollin', chopping competition like a forest. I'm a dog without the leash, and I be living at my lowest. Wipe my ass with your music when I take a shit. Wipe my ass with your music when I take a shit. You know what the fuck it is? Ugh! I'm gonna fucking tear y'all apart. What the fuck? You don't know shit. No one knows shit. It's all about this. Right now. I don't give a fuck, dude. Let's go. Wipe my ass with your music when I take a shit.
Wipe my ass with your music when I take a shit. Trying to stay afloat when I be riding on a sinking ship. Ain't no controversy, competition looking like a bitch. I'ma kill 'em all, pentagram, I'ma light the stick. Rollin', talking to the devil when I'm floating. Ain't nobody understand me, sacrificing for a foreign. Chop the fucking head off, I'ma eat the brains for storage. I'm a fucking dog, but I ain't talking about the courage. Rollin', chopping competition like a forest. I'm a dog without the leash, and I be living at my lowest. Rollin', chopping competition like a forest. I'm a dog without the leash, and I be living at my lowest. Rollin', chopping competition like a forest. I'm a dog without the leash, and I be living at my lowest. Rollin', chopping competition like a forest. I'm a dog without the leash, and I be living at my lowest.
Bitch, I'm insane. Homicide thriller, I be taking brain drain. Whisper when the rain laid inside of your head, leave your body red. I be picking pockets, I be eating bread. John Doe, my hoe too slow, get it go on the flow. Need more on the flow, running out the fucking dough. Cause I'll leave your head a hole. Lay low, skid row, black crow, I'ma fucking go. Sci-fi motherfucker Terminator. With my AK spray, come from Skiller. Ain't no fucking king, I'm a motherfucking lizard. Abracadabra, yo ass, I'm a wizard. Leave your ass cold like a motherfucking blizzard.
Rollin', chopping competition like a forest. I'm a dog without the leash, and I be living at my lowest. Rollin', chopping competition like a forest. I'm a dog without the leash, and I be living at my lowest. Rollin', chopping competition like a forest. I'm a dog without the leash, and I be living at my lowest. Rollin', chopping competition like a forest. I'm a dog without the leash, and I be living at my lowest.
Alright, here we're back. We're back, guys. Sorry the battery died, fucking battery likes to suck the energy out of that camera and shit. But yeah, going back to that, like, I know there's a lot of stuff that is unseen. We have a TV telling us, you know, George Floyd, BLM, all of these police brutalities, police assaulting other civilians and yada yada yada. But in reality, do you think it's a lot deeper than what we're seeing?
100%.
We see like George Floyd dying and the police officer doing that, and then we have Breonna Taylor that got murdered and all that stuff, but like you are in the crossfire, I guess you are in the crossfire, but you're also in the guts of this fucking beast of what all of this is. There's corruption here, there's corruption there, and I want to address this 100%. I'm not saying all police are bad. I am not saying that all correctional facilities are bad. I'm not saying that all prisons are bad. They are there for a reason. But what I am saying is that there's a lot of stuff that we don't see, that we are blind to, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
Right.
And do you think that there is more bad than there is good?
No, I think there is a lot of good, but the bad, like that bad seed just ruins the good for everything else.
Right.
You know, it's hard to look past that bad. It's hard to come back from that bad.
Right.
So, but like I think the bad will always overshadow all the good.
Yeah. I think in situations like this, in a place that we're looking at, no, I'm not here to offend anybody, but you know, if we're in this situation and you are a police officer or a correctional officer or whatever, and you know you kick dirt on the victim or not the victim, but the what do you call it? Assailant?
Like the suspect or
the
whatever.
Suspect. If you kick dirt on a suspect's shoes, like no one's gonna say anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Exactly.
fucking beat him to shit, though, you know, it's like the lesser of two evils.
Mm-hmm.
Always. It's always the lesser of two evils, especially in this system that we have right now. And I'm saying this because the system that we have now is going to stay or it's going to change. Those are the two options that we have. We can either change the fucking system that we have, we know what's bad, we know what's wrong, and we change it, or we don't. And we live in this world that we're just blindly following, and we're just like, whatever, it's going to be like this for the rest of our lives. And we continuously live this cycle of like, we see this bad, we don't change it. We see this bad, we don't fucking change it. And then we have riots outside and looting and fucking protests, and which is really good to get this stuff out. But what is it really changing?
Yeah.
You know? What is it really changing? Because you're sitting here telling me that I see this on a daily basis. I've known about this. There are stories. I can't say anything because the higher-ups are what is fucking this whole thing up. And the people that are doing it get off scot-free. Mm-hmm. So like, do you have any opinion or thing? What can we do? Do you think there is a thing to do in this situation?
I wish I knew, honestly. Like, I wish I could say like, yeah, just like take everybody who's there, take them out, and then put them with fresh people. But then those fresh people might even have the same views or worse views, and you're like double fucked. So.
Right. Is there even like, I fucking hate to say it, but is there even like racism within this whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like I was very sheltered and blinded by everything.
Well, coming from
everything, before going to the prison, and I was like, oh, this never happens. And then I got to see it firsthand. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Wow. But like, you know, I don't know what your what is that? Cult. I want to say culture. What is that? What is that word I'm trying to say?
Like my
ethnicity.
Yeah.
What's your ethnicity?
So I was adopted by a white family, but I'm Cuban and Native American.
Wow.
But all of that, I was adopted by a white family, so I'm just white on the inside and brown on the outside.
like you are a person of color out on the outside in the world. You know, you're not me. If I see you on the streets, I'm gonna be like, you're Hispanic or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck, you know. going into a place like this, do you even see a change in respect or a change in light whenever you walk into a place of your work, and even into the facility itself? Do men or women see you differently because of your color? You know what I'm saying?
So I didn't have, like, growing up, I never really experienced any racism or anything being looked upon because of my color. But whenever I went to the prison system, a lot of the inmates thought I was treating, like, the Hispanics better than any other color.
They thought because you look Hispanic, you're gonna be nicer to the Hispanics.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, what?
Like, that's not happening.
Like, you're giving extra food to them. And I'm like, I'm not giving extra food to nobody.
Yeah, like, I'm hungry myself. The fuck are you talking about?
These trays came pre-made.
Yeah.
These are TV meals. What are you talking?
I really feel like I don't see color because that's how I was raised. So all the racist stuff, I see it on social media and everything, and it really blows my mind that it is happening.
Right.
Because I've never really experienced it.
Like obviously in a facility like that, you are gonna have gangs. You have the blacks, and you have the whites, and you have the Hispanics, and they have their own gang, and it's that color.
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of all of that, at the end of what are the politics of a facility like that, do you think there is racism amongst the police officers, amongst the people that are there? What do you call them? Why am I going brain dead every fucking time I need to call somebody a bad guy, an inmate? Do you see racism in all of that?
I think so. I think other officers definitely saw color whenever it came to mostly like the blacks, because it's a bigger population.
It's a bigger population over here.
Yeah, and so like the whites and the Hispanic really like stayed to themselves, and I feel like the blacks were really targeted.
Right.
On some things because some of them like had a bigger personality, so they were more targeted. And
well, it's systematic. Like I'm starting to realize that the black community is systematically being targeted. But that's just another conspiracy. That's just a whole nother fucking thing, you know?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother problem. It's just, in this place that you're working at, there's a whole lot of stuff that goes, like, your responsibility and your job description is so huge. You have to deal with assault. You have to deal with corruption. You have to deal with racism and, like, you have a weapon on your side at all fucking times, and you see a blue vest and you see a fucking badge, and it's either really good to some people or it's really fucking bad.
Yeah.
And in this world today, that's why I brought you in today, was because today we are super divided on what is and what isn't, you know. And I just feel like you coming and talking about the good and the evil about both of it is just enough for the viewers to just see actually what is going on and what is involved in all of this whole situation, because it's not your fault. Like, yes, your actions and what you do there is yours, but like how this is created and how this is moved is way above your pay grade and way above like people that you think are the bosses, you know. And it's like, what can we do? You know, what can we do to and I think it does start. I think you're right. It does start with actually taking these people that are not even supposed to be there anymore out. Yeah. Especially with the people with like a drug charge or, you know, a ticket or some, you know, stupid random. I don't know how. Like I said, I don't know how bad or how much you have to do to get into prison like that. But just stuff like that. You know, keep it to the rapists and the murderers and the abusers and stuff.
Yeah.
Your superiors, and whenever you're doing all that, do they have to be more trained? Or are they like actual police officers, or are they just been there longer?
Yeah, been there longer. I mean, they do take like a week training or something like that. But yeah, it's just being there longer.
Wow.
So there's no training. Like you said that there's a physical and all that stuff, but like even like with you didn't There was no training for you?
Yeah. So that's another thing. Like, our supervisors go from managing inmates to trying to manage us, and they kind of end up in turn treating us like inmates and trying to run us like inmates, and it's not the same thing.
Yeah. You're like, I get to go home at the end of this.
Yeah.
I don't treat you like that.
Yeah.
What about, like, the racism between inmates? Like, what?
Like, to each other?
Yeah, like with the Brotherhood and, you
So
know.
White power.
Yeah.
I definitely saw it
Don't they have to keep them, like, especially if they have, like, tattoos and stuff, they have to keep them in solitary, right?
Yeah, like some of them, like if they're very active, they are held in a different building. They're held like one to cell, and the people that do the housing, they know who's in what gang or who's trying to get affiliated with what gang and stuff.
Is it like each pod is like for their own specific things? Or almost
for the most part, and sometimes it does fall through the books and they do get mixed up. And that was my first fight, was
Really?
2 different gang members. They ended up being housed in the same pod in the same section. They came out for rec, and one guy had like a fan motor, because they are allowed different things, and like one's a fan. So he took apart the fan motor and just beat this guy almost to death.
Damn.
Just because he was a different gang.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Gangs run deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gangs are
You
deep.
don't realize how deep that.
Kind of want to get a gang member to come over here.
No.
Yeah, I kind of want to get. I
It's-
kind of want to sit a gang member down and be like, "What are the fucking politics? What is this?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What
Yeah.
is this?" You know?
Amarillo, though, you're like iffy because you could get a lot of bluffs on that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. But like,
Just you know who the gang members
Yeah,
are. Just,
yeah.
just tell me. Just write a name down. At the
I
end
got
of the
but, honestly, yeah, there's like one guy, like a couple guys found me. They got out and they would message me on Facebook.
Oh no shit.
Are
Yeah,
you allowed to reply to those? Like,
I like during prison, no, but I think out of prison, yeah. But I just don't.
yeah,
Is that?
that's
I don't
kind of
know.
creepy
Yeah.
that they found you like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of wild. I mean, but like, it's kind of creepy. But if you think about it,
I
you've
mean,
been in there
if
for
you're-
so long that you are the face of what this world is.
Exactly.
If you like got to do puzzles with them or whatever, you know.
I would like to pick their brains sometimes,
Yeah,
just
I bet that's
to
like really
learn about
interesting.
everything. Yeah, but
And I
there
bet
was.
they're like really open with it too. 'Cause-
They are.
Oh, that was a question I was going to ask. You walk in one day and you're looking around and you see a new person and it's like you went to school with them. Has that ever happened?
No, I actually didn't know anybody. Like, there was one guy that was from this area, and he would always try to find out what school I went to or whatever, because they're stuck in that time of before they went in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. If I saw somebody, I would have to get moved, or they would have to get moved.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, but I didn't know anybody.
Really?
So-
Wow, that's like cool. Like, I would, if I was in that place, I would be like, hey, everybody's my fucking friend at that point. Do you become friends? Like, I know that you can't say like, hey, you're my homie and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Like, is there like a secret, like, little, like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
I enjoy your time and I respect you as a person. And,
Honestly, yeah, like I said, they're people. So yeah, you do. Like, I'm there all the time. They're there. They live there.
right,
But-
right.
But yeah, like not in any kind of romantic way.
Right,
But yeah,
platonically, just like, hey,
exactly. Yeah.
when you get out, I'm like, I'm glad you're getting out. And
Yeah,
I'm proud that you're getting out.
exactly.
And then, like, you know, you get kind of sad because you're not going to see him anymore.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and they have your back. Like some of them, like there was this, like I said, one guy tried to like blackmail me, like making shit up and stuff like that. But like we worked together and stuff like that,
Yeah.
as much as you could work with an enemy or whatever. But he was like, "Don't worry about him. I got him." The next day, he didn't say anything like
Didn't
that
say
to
shit.
me.
He's like, bro.
Yeah, they took care of it.
I wish I had that kind of power. Like, hey, bitch, you fucking say one fucking word again.
And they weren't like, they never got out of their cells, so I don't know
Oh,
what he
shit.
said to him.
Damn. Well, that's good. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to know, like, there is ups and downs to all of this situation.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm glad that we actually got to sit down and fucking talk about it. And, what else? Bex, you think there's any more questions?
I have two more questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
One, your pod, is that just what you stick with? Like, that's just it? That's just yours? Or
No.
do you get assigned to different ones?
So it's really just buildings. Like, you could be assigned to general population. You could be assigned to high security. I was assigned to the psych facility. So I had there's 6 pods with 78 cells in it. So,
Jeez,
just
six
yeah,
pods.
I could
Whole
work.
building.
Yeah, I
6
could
pods
work
with 78
inmates.
inmates in that pod itself.
Yeah.
So 78 times 6.
So it's me watching 78 men just by myself.
Oh, okay, so you're in one pod of 78, and
Yeah.
then there's another person with one pod of 70. But this
Exactly.
is the psych ward.
Mm-hmm.
And they're 1 per cell, right?
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
So that's huge. That's a big one.
Yeah.
And then
Lot of,
my other question was, because you said that there's only one man around the Amarillo area in your thing.
Just one that I knew of, just because he was open about it. But a lot of them were from like Dallas, Houston.
That's what I was gonna. Is it all like Texas residents?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, one guy said he was from California, but I don't know if he like ended up moving
Like
here.
from California.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's insane. We didn't even get to the psych ward stuff. Like, I bet you saw a lot of crazy shit.
I've
Like
seen
like
it.
you saw shit. You saw people eating shit.
Yes.
Oh God. Okay.
One guy covered his. So one guy covered his cell in shit. Like
We gotta
food-
talk a little bit more for sure.
I feel like some of them do that as a distraction or something. Too.
Yeah, just to get out, because, I mean, we can't leave him in a shit covered
Yeah.
cell,
Right,
but yeah.
right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I have stories.
Like so like you had to run medication.
Well, we had nurses that were certified, but we would have to walk with them, and they would pass the pills and stuff. But that's a big, like, currency also, medication.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We're talking about something way deeper than fucking just police brutality.
Some
Holy
of them
fuck.
get old, so they got those like muscle relaxers and
Mm-hmm.
the
Antipsychotics.
Just anything, yeah. Yeah.
What was the biggest medical drug that was in the facility at one time?
So I didn't keep track with the drugs, but K2, I have never heard of K2
Why is
until I went
K2
to...
fucking every fucking time?
I don't know. I had never
I
heard
love
of K2
I fucking love
until I
it.
went there.
Have you ever
Yeah.
you never tried it or nothing?
No, I've seen it, but that's about it. And then I smelt it every day.
Yeah, it kind of smells good.
no.
Well, it used to.
I don't know.
K2 was a synthetic
Synthetic.
quote unquote synthetic marijuana, and it turned out to
Exactly.
be a fucking psychedelic.
What's the
it's
weirdest thing you've
huge.
seen during that was like what's the word I'm looking
Like
for?
a cell search or
Yeah.
like I don't know if it's weird, but the craziest. So this guy, he would draw, and like I said, they didn't get out of their cells, and some of his shit would light up. I don't know where he got this light up stuff. I don't know how he made it light up,
That's so crazy.
but he never left his cell, and he was making his stuff light up.
Like what do you mean, like glow?
No, like Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Like he would find something, put it together, and make it light up like a Christmas light.
Oh no shit! Like he had like electronic
Yes.
electricity
Exactly.
currency.
Yes,
Like
with
current.
like
There's,
magnets
just
and
pack
shit.
rats in there, trying to figure
With
stuff out.
exactly, they would make speakers. They are super creative because you're in there for years. You have nothing else to
Yeah.
do.
Right. Well, especially in like a psych ward. I don't know like what the years span for a person in a psych ward would be. Like in a jail, in a prison system like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, do we even have do we have asylums and stuff anymore? Is that a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah, there's state mental hospitals. They're not called asylums anymore, but there's like one in Big Springs, and that's the one where you go to if you're like plead insanity. You
Right.
Go to like an asylum until you're deemed eligible again.
Right, to walk.
And then you can come back out into society.
Right.
Yeah, but living in prison, like, it will make you go crazy. So that's how a lot of they were normal, and then spending years in prison, they just
They
fucking
just
lost
fucking
it.
lost it.
They
And they're
don't even realize
taking. I mean, that's the thing too. Is like doctors are saying this is what people need. See, that's the thing too on the podcast is we talk about mental health and stuff, and people get misdiagnosed with things that they don't have. And I feel like in this situation now, we just opened up, I could see prisoners being misdiagnosed with what they got, and they're just taking medication on top of medication, and they go crazy because they don't even need that shit.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting there.
Or there's like CO officers that don't know how to take care of that. Like, have you seen the instance where there's that person who had autism and they died in prison?
Yeah, I'm not trained for that.
Yeah, because of the abuse and stuff.
Because you just get trained as a correctional officer. You don't get trained as a correctional officer that is dealing with a psych ward.
Exactly, that's what...
Maybe that's the thing that we need to look into. Maybe a psych ward correctional officer system. Because, I mean, that's like... It's like taking care of... Almost taking care of somebody that is not even knowing what the fuck they're doing. It's either they don't know what the fuck they're doing, or they're childlike. I mean, I don't know, like... Do you get prisoners that have, like, a mental disorder like that? You know, like Down syndromes and stuff like that?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen anybody with Down syndrome, but of course it's just my unit. So I don't know about Down syndrome, but everything else is, there's just so many difference.
An adult to be able, like a functioning adult to be able to go into
adult prison.
But with that, then that would put you into a psych facility, an actual asylum.
Then you go into a psych facility, or they have group homes specifically for
people
on the spectrum
that have like committed crimes, I guess.
That's crazy. We're talking about fucking the politics of now. We should. I can go on for fucking hours on the whole like. When you walked in, were you expecting to be in the psych ward? Is that what you wanted to do, or is it just they were like, you got the pick, this is it?
Yeah, no, we got trained in each building, and I was like, yeah, I just want to be in like general population. I just want to be with people who get to get out and stuff like that. They're allowed to get out, and they're like, nope, you're gonna go to the psych facility.
No shit.
Yeah. That's
crazy, and like we were saying, you didn't get trained differently than a correctional officer. Like, was that different? Was it different in a sense of like, I could do this to this person, but I can't do that to this person?
Yeah, and the way you talk to them, especially your instructions that you have to give. Like, if they're not understanding you, they're not gonna do a proper strip search, and then they're gonna have to be handled the way that a normal person that was refusing it normally would.
Right.
So you're just beating up some guy who doesn't understand what the fuck is going on.
That's sad.
Yeah.
So here's another thing that's a little bit hard. A lot of these mental disorders that people go through and they're in prison, they have no control over something that they do sometimes. Mm-hmm. Is it hard to differentiate the person with the disorder? So you walk in, some guy beat the shit out of somebody, the guy dies. Mm-hmm. The guy that's in prison now has bipolar schizophrenia. Is that even deemable? You have to be your actions have consequences, obviously. Mm-hmm. But in this sense, what do they do to the person? What is this system doing for the person that has bipolar schizophrenia that beat the shit out of somebody and the guy dies? What are they doing for this person to be like, hey, you need fucking help? This is a 20-year-old or a 25-year-old person that didn't have any medical that doesn't have any fucking health insurance, right? On the streets. Didn't know that he needed to take medication. Went to Chick-fil-A one day, got talked back to, and he beat the living fuck out of somebody. This is just a scenario. This is not really what happened. This is just a scenario. And now he's in prison for 10 plus years, and he's in the psych ward because he got diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenia at like fucking 13 years old or whatever. His mom was a piece of shit. His dad was never there, and
you're getting too deep into it.
I'm just saying this is real shit. This is this is what actually happens. And the person that you need to go?
No. Oh, okay. I don't even. It's an 844 number. I don't.
And the person that's in that facility is now just taking medication, living prison life, and that's it. Like how do you differ? Like do you see it? Do you see him differently than a person that just beat the shit out of somebody that has no mental disorder?
So as far as like knowing what they did, I try not to know what they did because I I know I would treat them differently.
Oh, okay.
But
so is that like with everybody, like all of the correctional officers, like people, nobody knows?
Some people will look it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's like public record. You could look them up by their TDCJ number and see what they did or whatever, you know.
Right.
But like I know I'm gonna treat somebody differently than the other, and that's not my job. My job is not to judge them. My job is not to treat them any different. But like, as of one person, so there, I had this one inmate that spit on me, and he knows exactly what he's doing.
Right.
He just wanted to spit at me, and then I had another man. He's not there. I was talking to him. He was brushing his teeth, and he spit, and I knew he wasn't spitting at me because he was being annoying or rude or anything.
Right.
He was old and not there. Yeah.
He had dementia or Alzheimer's.
Yeah. So you try to recognize those differences. So because that can lead to one person getting his ass kicked by 5 men.
Right.
And not so.
Wow, that's crazy. Like I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it. My mind was somewhere else when I did this podcast, when I sat down with you, and now it's like there's so much like I don't know if it's problems, but there's so much that
could be changed
and fixed.
Yeah.
So much that people who aren't used to that don't even realize.
Yeah, I mean, because we put them there and we want to forget about them.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what the world. That's the world is. Like we've been doing this system for fucking. Like a prison system has been here for as long as like I know, history wise.
Yeah,
you know?
but they get out and they become your neighbors.
Right.
So why are we not treating them like they need
They're
to
just human beings.
Yeah, they need to come out and be someone's neighbors and
that's not
jack off to them.
Yeah. And not fucking jack off to them because you know, but you know it's that too. It's like obviously we don't want serial killers around. We don't want our warders around. You know, those people deserve the consequence. But like we're talking about people that we've already said like have seen Christ Almighty, you know, and said that they have changed, and they are actively changing, and they are actively doing better, and they're, you know, they are sorry for what they did with the drinking and driving. They are sorry about the abuse that they have caused on somebody, or whatever the case may be, and you know, it's getting to the point where the prison system is becoming way too full with these people, and it's like, what do we do now? Where are we at? Are we going to just keep on pushing people into this to where it gets too full, and you and like 10 other fucking people are taking care of like thousands of people that have done wrong, you know? Or are we going to find something else that works, something else that can change the system for the better? That way we don't have corruption. That way we don't have sexual relations with inmates, or a drug problem, or a drug push with the police force, or brutality, or whatever the case may be. This system is fucked. And I feel, and I thank you. I really do appreciate you coming on the podcast to talk about what this is and how it is, because, you know, it might reach to fucking 40 people, but it's a start. You know, like I'm not going to change the world.
Yeah.
You know, this house, we're doing something small. We're not going to change the fucking world, but we can fucking try to. You know, and I feel like that's what this podcast was about. Was like, we see a problem. I hope everybody sees the problem. Let's try to change it for sure. You know, so I appreciate you coming on the podcast for sure. It was so cool, and I'm so glad to meet you. Like as a person, you know, now I know if I go to Amarillo or something, like, hey, you know, we're going. Me and Bex are going to dinner. You want to fucking come or whatever? Maybe we got some friends, you know. But do you have like do you want to shout out your socials or anything, or do you have anything that's going on?
I mean, they're pretty small accounts. If you want to, it's
do your Instagram. Do your Instagram.
Honest, I would have to like look it up.
Oh no shit! You don't. I mean, if you don't have to.
I think it's like pearl.marie25, something like that. Something basic I made up in like middle school.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Your middle name as well.
yeah, something.
I'll look it up. I do that for everybody, and you know, if you wanted some people to follow you for support or whatever, you know, and you're not doing anything crazy. You're just working. You're just doing a job. But like, you know, what you said on here actually means something to a lot of people, and
I hope so.
And I came with no bias at all, even though I told you at the beginning I was like, fuck cops, you know, fuck cops, fuck the blue. But you know, like I said, it's an honor to talk to you, and I'm glad, and thank you for sitting down for 2 hours and fucking just talking to shit.
Dang, has it been 2 hours already?
It's been fucking 2 hours. It's been fucking 2 hours.
Yeah, that was fun though.
But yeah, I went on. What was the longest one that I've done, babe? Like 3 hours?
Almost, yeah.
It was like 3 hours and 30 minutes or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, this is the end of the podcast today, and guys, like always, have a good week, and go fuck yourself. Oh, it's not playing. Hold on. Go fuck yourself, dude. Oh.